I'm demonstrating a project we call MashMaker. So what we've got here is, imagine you're a really unskilled user. You can just about browse the web, but you don't really know any technological stuff. Imagine your mother, your grandmother. And so we want to allow them to create mashups of the content they're using to run in the page they're using now.
So what is a mashup?
So a mashup is when you've got content from other sources mixed together in one interface. And one of the key things here is that in the past, mashups have been a really difficult thing to do, because not only do you have to use what's essentially a programming tool in order to create them, but moreover, you have to know you want one. So if your grandmother is browsing a website, there might be a mashup which provides exactly the set of information she wants. But she probably doesn't know that, because she hasn't heard a mashup, she wouldn't know what site provides it, or she hadn't even thought that information might be useful. So what we do with MashMaker is that as you browse the web, MashMaker looks at the pages you've got open now, the pages you've opened recently in the past, and the content that other users have in the past combined with the kind of content you're looking at now. And based on that, MashMaker suggests ways it might enhance the content you're looking at now with additional information that you might want.
So it's really a better way of getting the web information to you the way you want it, in a very visual way, and I don't even really have to think about what it is I'm looking for. It helps me and guides me. These are some of the things that might be helpful for you.
So one way we like to describe it is, you don't want to browse a web page, you want to browse the internet. So MashMaker had a unified semantic database of what web pages mean and what different kinds of content users in certain contexts find it useful to combine together.
Excellent. Let's see it in action.
Okay, so let's say I am here in Facebook, and it might suggest that I might be interested in knowing what the employer is for each of my friends right now. I can click employer, and MashMaker now tells me, added to each person, who their current employer is. It also knows I'm the kind of guy who likes tables, so it suggests table. And I now can click on table, and this is now an actually interactive widget, because some things it adds interactive widgets. I click on that, it now shows all that stuff on the table. It knows that in general, when I see things for which MashMaker has a way of finding out an address, I like to see that on the map. So MashMaker, without having ever been taught this specifically, because it will show me a map of where all my friends are right now. So I click on there, where are all my friends right now? Click on Google Maps, wait for Google to do its thing, and there's where all my friends are right now. Because it knows that's information I might want to have in this context. But none of those examples were ever specifically taught to MashMaker. Those are all things that MashMaker guessed that someone might want based on its semantic knowledge of the meaning of the internet and inferred and added.
Does MashMaker learn as it gets used more?
Yes. So there's several ways in which MashMaker learns. So firstly, MashMaker learns from user behavior to learn what kind of information users might want to connect. And secondly, and perhaps most critically, MashMaker learns from users what the web actually means. Because for any of this stuff to actually work, MashMaker needs to see more than just a page. It needs to know that, say, that's a friend, that's a person, that's an address, that's a flight, that's a departure time. It needs to know the semantic meaning of this content. And it's not practical to expect the data providers to add all this stuff, because if they do, they'll probably do it wrong, and most of them probably be too lazy anyway. So instead, what we do is we rely on a community-maintained database that any user can edit in a Wikipedia-style way. So if you come across some content where you would find it interesting for MashMaker to know what this means, you pop open the interactive editor, you click on the thing you think is interesting, and you tell MashMaker what it is.
So MashMaker really gets knowledge about information the way that people use that information.
Yeah. So MashMaker knows what the internet means, and it uses that to give you the information you want from all over the internet, based on the starting point of what you're looking at now. Excellent.
Rob, how do you like working on this project?
It's really fun. We're really, really hyped about this. We see this as being, this is the future of the internet. This is game changing. We're really excited about this.
Now you've got a little program going on right now where people can sign up and actually download MashMaker and test this out.
We've been handing out these cards at IDF, giving this URL, mashmaker.intel.com. So the idea is that if you sign up, we will add you to the waiting list, and we are inviting users gradually in batches to actually try this out and use this. And this is what we call a technology preview release. So this means this isn't full, this isn't finished, this isn't complete, and that's deliberate. Because if we designed this thing completely and made it completely finished, we'd do it wrong. because we need to know what users want in order to get this right.
So you're really using user-based design on this, and we want to know what people are using it for, how they're using it, and that's going to guide us in our development process.
We think it's very important to have a conversation with the community early to make sure that our continued work is guided in the right direction, to make sure this really is useful for real unskilled users.
Excellent. Thanks, Rob.